Who is ready? Answer, none of us are ready. Not a single one of us are ready. What's probably gonna happen? I don't know what's gonna happen. What up, Sparky? Alright. So. What up, Baba? What up, King Cheese? Okay. So what I understand is we need to go to the bottom path. So let's get this all taken care of. Don't know everything? Gosh, you're good, you're good. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Trust 1, Superbia. Trust 1, Tristidia. Trust 2, Luxuria. Trust 1, Luxuria. Trust 2, Luxuria. Okay, we're still in the good. We're still in the clean. We're still in the clean. Okay, we don't know more here, but we need to get Superbia on our side. Once again, since it's a new episode, and also thank you to Miracle Moon for the game, as well as SHSL Blaze. Since we don't know what's going to happen after this point, we're going to start reading these again. When it comes to deduce, though, once we get to the deduction room, we are going to skip the deduction room and just go into the split. Because we've already seen the room before. What up, Cassie? How's it going? Let's see. The door's unlocked when Ancora finished solving the puzzle. It's gonna be a little bit loud. Let's just turn this down a bit. Giving one of them a light push, she confirmed that they could be opened and left their immediate area to head back to the 6 other survivors. The entire process had taken a few minutes, yet when she rejoined them, it didn't take long for her to understand the discussion about how to handle the team still wasn't over. But first of all, we should make the teams, then we can decide what to do with her. Okay, that's fair, I suppose. How do we divide, though? You and Bea are adamant about going together, but won't that be unbalanced? What up, Word?
Would be. We all need to have a team that says someone good at solving those rooms, which would be Vidi and me.
Well, it can't be that bad either if they escaped our room too.
Unless the one who was good was in fact the one who died, which then begs the question why they died at all. The Will has been unresponsive for a while.
Anyway. We're going in a circle. You want me and Bea to split? That's just fine, I guess. Superbia didn't like that, and she glared at the two that were trying to split her up from Ira. And Cora chimed in before the situation deteriorated further. I opened the doors. The puzzle, that is. It's solved now. Ah, you're back. I noticed you'd left a little earlier. There was a definite change in Nvidia's tone towards her. Not sure how much I can count on him as an ally anymore. Maybe it's best to be wary. Yes, well, I thought it would be a good idea to do that while you all talked. It's not like you've given me a chance to explain myself, or that you'd be willing to believe me without thinking I'm weird. Nvidia scratched the back of his head a little bit, as if he was embarrassed about his behavior towards her. Tristidia didn't put so much as a veil over his own beliefs.
That's true. But still, solving the puzzle's good, see? She's still good. She's not gone mental. She can come with one of our teams.
Yeah, whatever. What are the teams like in your head, horseman?
Maybe something like first team would be Vidi and Ula, second would be myself and Bea, and the third would be you, Ava, and Cora.
If you think I'm going to group with you...
Yes, what if I think so? What if we do have to balance ourselves out this way so we actually all live?
Yes, indeed, TW. Also, how's it going? As if most of your common survival really matters. I know you don't give a shit about anyone else, Bea, but if we die, you die too. We keep repeating that too. Will you get it already? He didn't sound too pleased with her, but she just shrugged nonchalantly, as if it truly had nothing to do with her. Fine then. You're right. Happy now? No, not really. I won't be happy until all this is over. Have we decided yet, then? I don't really have a preference one way or the other. As far as I'm concerned, I feel more like an observer than a real participant right now.
Alright, sorry. I didn't really consult you while thinking those teams over.
She dismissively waved in the air. No, it's fine. Like I said, I don't have a preference. We should get a move on. Remember, our time is ticking down. It's not going to stop anytime soon. Feh, my time is not going to stop at all. If we hurry, don't hurry. We're close to 10 past the hour. Let's go. Now, poor Vidi. Can we all give Vidi hugs? The group was, for the most part, in agreement. Gula had remained almost completely silent since Luxuria had died. After a second or so, she decided to join them again, still mute to all attempts at conversation on the way. It was like she didn't really know what she was going to do anymore. As they set off towards the next set of doors, Ancora... So I think we talked with Tristidia last time. We could try to talk with Ira. Talk with Ira might be a good idea. The Lion was trying to ignore Ancora while she followed right behind Superbia and him. She couldn't blame him. No one really wanted to associate with her. Did you want something in particular? Oh no, I just thought since we're going to group up, we should, talk a little. I'm not very good at talking, if you noticed. That's okay by me. There's some easy topics, too. Hey, what are you two going on about? We're almost there anyways. Alright, so we got those two. Barely in the hallway, you mean? Whatever, just focus on getting there faster. The resulting silence was allowed to go on for very long before someone else talked to Ancora, yet the girl was lost in thought already. So, how was the puzzle? Ancora didn't realize she was being addressed until Everdia spoke again. Hey, anybody home? She snapped her fingers, which brought Ancora back to reality. Truth be told, she had been deep in thought too, much like Gula. Oh, sorry, I was thinking about things. The puzzle wasn't too bad, I guess. It only took me a few minutes. This kind of puzzle is nothing for someone like me. Maybe I could have done it even faster. Good to know, then. We have a good chance of making it out of this room after all. Hey, what does that mean? Do you also think I'm loopy? Can't deny that having visions does make you look too sane. The group arrived at a small intersection in the hall. There was a tiny part leading further in, towards two doors, much like the ones they'd gone through a moment ago, and a longer hallway gave way to a bend.
Oh, this is where we split up, I think. There's a door ahead that can be opened by our classroom, and that most likely contains some cards. B and I should head over there.
Nobody made you the leader. If anything, that was my idea too. The earlier I'm in there, the earlier I can leave it. Deciding not to futilely argue against the rabbit, the horse waved at the rest of the group before trudging off towards the door. Superbia followed him without so much of the same courtesy. Faced with that, Ancora wished Superbia good luck anyway. Yeah, alright. I hope you make it out alive and swiftly. Superbia finally deigned a reply right before she vanished inside, the hand making that gross gesture disappearing into the room last. The rest of the group was unconcerned by it, but Ancora felt a bit annoyed. What a bitch. There's no point even thinking about being nice to her. The group was left to its own volition following all that. I guess Ula and I will take the next one then. Ula nodded her head in acknowledgement. Gee, this room is going to be fun, I could just tell. The sarcasm in his tone wasn't lost on Ancora. She wished she could say something to lighten up the mood, but everything she thought up didn't seem good enough. In the end, she remained silent, just like Ula. The larger group walked further down the hall. About midway, there were two doors that led to different classrooms. True to his word, Invidia pulled Gula over into the first of them, leaving the second to Ira, Ancora, and Averidia. Wait a second. Can't say I'm a fan of locking myself up in one of those death cages again, but... Oh, stop complaining and go. Besides, you get to be with a cute girl and mature woman. Yeah, those are probably the most dangerous things in there. Averidia disregarded his peek and lazily walked into the classroom after opening the door. Ira followed her after shrugging at the remaining girl, who also followed after him. I'm glad we managed to reach an outcome without tearing each other's heads off. For once. Excuse me. It's easy time. The girl murmured to herself, taking in the sight of what was inside the room. It was not actually a classroom. It was like the little lobby of a large manor. The room was tall, and it seemed like there was a second floor above. This place is really big. What does it mean to represent? Why is this in a school? No. I think I knew this place, but my head hurts when I think about it too much. Thank you, King Cheese. Are we supposed to take the balcony too? Will we walk through up there? After giving it a moment of consideration and trying to move closer to have a better look at it, Ancora realized there was no going up there. There was a ceiling. It only appeared as though you can go to the second floor. I see, so it's not really like a second floor. It's an optical illusion. The ceiling is painted as if there was a second floor, but it doesn't really have one. That's kind of fucked up. The 39 seconds leading to Mia's announcement elapsed and the door locked to trap the three of them inside this lobby. Mia appeared upon their helmets, true to her word. Isn't this place just grand? It's really expensive to get a house to look like this. Not only is it expensive, but it's pretty much impossible unless you have more money than sense. But we're not here to figure that out. That has nothing to do with your immediate situation, that too. But we have what you're going to figure out here is a murder. Yes, I'm sure you've all found that newspaper article that talked about it before. That is not exactly relevant right now, but there is a murderer in your group. Your task is to figure out who it is and then tell me. I'm sure you can understand there is only one murderer too. That's correct. None of the others have committed the crime of murder as of your incarceration. So please take to heart and work together. Then again, in this Kill Me game, you're all criminals, so who knows how much you can trust anybody still. Alright, for the answer, I'm not looking for a name. Instead, you'll be working to tell me which personality did the murder. If you aren't familiar with it, you'll find something that will help you delineate all of that in this duo of rooms. I'll see you later. Okay. Once again, the vision of me disappeared and the light returned to their eyes, filtered through the cameras of the masks they wore. None of them seemed too pleased about the news that the killer was on the loose. The 39 minutes accountant, We're doing this again? Yes, we'd better get searching, even if I feel like this place is comfortable enough to take a nap inside. Take it once we're all done and we've left this horrible school. I personally like to get out as soon as possible now it's confirmed one of us is a murderer. This room shouldn't be too bad either. The Enneagram of personality reduces the amount of possibilities denied, so working with that... Alright, not going to think about it too much. It's best left to the search. There's the Enneagram somewhere in there. So long as one finds it, they'll have a solid hold on the mystery. Alright, and then we get to the deduction, but we don't need to worry about the deduction because we've already done the deduction. So, goodbye, deduction. Alright, so, next we're at the split. And with the split, we should be able to go to Superbia. There, we should go as Superbia, I believe. Hey, Whammy, how's it going? And now we're back out. Without masking her uneasiness at doing what Ira demanded of her just because he was the one to grab the revolver, Ancora left the room first, immediately noting that the door next to theirs was still closed. With the window obstructed by the metal plate, she couldn't see inside to make sure everyone made it out, as the hallways were completely silent other than for her and Everidia following her. She figured no one else had solved the room yet. Look, I'm not going to do anything bad, okay? It's just like I said, I don't want any of you to fucking kill me like that. There was some truth to his words. The more Ancora watched him carrying the gun, the more she realized he really didn't know how to use it, which would only be helpful to her. It would be too hard to try and get it from him. Let's not forget he's also pretty built. He can defend himself even without the gun. For now, Ancora decided to not think about a violent outcome and instead focused her thoughts on what they learned in the room. Someone in the group was a real threat, and it wasn't Ira. Best to get the others to follow the same train of thought, but how do we guide them there? So helper was the answer, huh? Do either of you know who that refers to? Everidia calmly shrugged, not even deigning to open her mouth to say a single word. However, Ira had a much more irate reaction. Just don't question it, okay? It's not me, but whoever it is. If they learn we know, you can bet we're going to be meeting the bearded guy in the sky suit after. He pointed upward as he spoke. There isn't any way they let us go after that. I'm not really smart, but even I can understand it's dangerous, so keep shut if you know what's good for you. Which means it's best to bring up during the next vote. This will help solve this issue. However, maybe I should make sure I'm right on who it is with another session of packing. Maybe now's not the best time, but soon enough. All of those thoughts were interrupted when the doors next to them unlocked. Invidia emerged on the scene of Ira brandishing a revolver and looking threateningly, which gave him pause. This had for effect to stop Gula dead in her tracks, but not before she bumped into Invidia, causing him to fall forward to the ground. Ouch. Hey, please watch it next time. Oh, my apologies. It was not in my assumption you would be seizing all movements as readily. Now that she was out and she could see it, Gula cautiously watched the gun hanging from the lion's hand. I'm not going to shoot anybody. Stop making a fuss over it. Here's the thing. How does Ira not realize that when holding a gun that people are going to be scared? Like, if I saw a gun, I'd still be scared. Like, even if it's like a police officer and such that's supposed to protect me, I'm still going to be scared because it's the fucking gun with bullets. Anyone could die with that thing. Invidia was still in the process of standing up. No one gave him a hand, so Ancora stepped forward to help him. He shook his head in protest. I'll be fine. It's okay. We're just bumped by not having just a single body, but the entire gravitational force of 2 celestial bodies. Hey, that is completely uncalled for. Avert your gaze your uncouth thoughts from my chest this instant. It's hard not to notice them, honestly. Whenever I look, they are there. At least a bit of them are. And this, even if I turned all the way around. Gula clenched her hands into fists, looking downright aggravated by his jokes. Thankfully for her, the party got in full swing when the third door unlocked in the distance and Tristia's helmet popped in from around the corner. Hey, True. Oh, you're all... He paused, then, noticing the gun. Ira roared an annoyed growl at the reaction, which was quickly becoming the norm as each of them joined the gathering. You guys just stop it. Just a gun. I'm not going to shoot anyone. Nobody's got to be scared of this, okay?
What do you mean, just a gun? That kind of thing is highly dangerous.
What's the matter now? Someone's got a gun. Rabbit Girl came in after the horse. She evaluated the situation from Invidia dusting off his hands now that he was back on his feet, to the group somewhat awkwardly waiting to see how things would go, and finally to Ira, who still had the gun in his hand. Simple then. You just take it apart. Without any traces of fear, she walked towards him. He made a movement to aim with the revolver, but she effortlessly pushed his arm away with her own. Look, do you want everyone to stop getting scared over it or not? I thought I heard something about it just now. Just open the gun. I don't know how to do that, okay? Then let me do it. Ancora could tell that Ira really didn't want to let go of the gun, but after a moment, he absconded from that position and let the rabbit have it. The person that we really should not have let have a gun. It's really easy. To empty the gun, there are 2 ways. One is to open it like this. She did exactly what she said she would, taking out the 6 bullets and closing the gun again. Then she slid the bullets one by one into her shoes. Now nobody will be able to shoot it with it. The revolver without bullets is useless unless you want to clock someone with it. Got it? Simple enough, like I said. She handed the now empty revolver over to Ira, who took it back. He put it in his pocket now that the danger of holding it was past. It was like a weight had been lifted off the group, at least until Tristidia panicked.
Oh no, we're running late. The hour's coming to a close soon. We got 10 minutes before the time before the vote is over.
Let's just vote then. We got all the time to do it, and on top of that, we already found 2 me cards in our room. We found 2 me cards too. I guess we all found 2? So that's 6. I don't have a me card, so that means... Oh, damn it! It couldn't have gone smoothly, but we had to search for more again? We already searched this whole place and didn't find any earlier. Let us away towards a second thought search. Perhaps we're not giving it due to concern prior. Perhaps we're not giving it due concern prior. Bitch, please, talk normal. I swear you gotta drop the thesaurus. Apologies once more, but I've not thought to expend towards little salacious Jezebels. You're saying I'm a slut, bitch? Look at you again and say it once more. That is what you precisely are, a highly uncouth one, completely undeserving of my attention, mind you. With your looks, it's no wonder your mind jumps at that. Just by looking at you, I can tell you have had more dongs than the bell of an old church. That line gets me every time. You have had more dongs than the bell of an old church. Holy crap. Girls, give me one laugh. Have we witnessed the singular moment in which your only duet of cephalic cells have formulated a sentence composed more than the word bitch? I don't give a fuck about what you think about head composes, but if you don't stop bitching at me, your head's gonna start decomposing instead. Girls, just stop fighting, we got to. And furthermore, you've been a pain ever since you first arrived with your little friend, was voted out. Of your starting group, you're the last one. I wouldn't tempt fate if I was you, because your group's dropping like flies right now.
Oh, the timer's running out soon. Earth's calling to bitch face number 1 and bitch face number 2.
But they didn't listen. Even though the boys' attempts at bringing the 2 of them back from their bickering, they simply continued. Pray tell then, incapable rabbit, what do you propose to solve our timely dilemma? Should you continue this line? We'll all duly surrender our right to live? This is going to degenerate. Something has to be done and fast, or else... Before anyone could do anything, least of all Ancora, Superbia grabbed the revolver from Ira's shorts. Whether or not he wanted to stop her, he was too surprised to move. With a kick of the shoe, she grabbed a bullet and slammed it into the chamber lightning fast. And that's how I'll solve the problem. Say hello to your little bitch in hell for me. And dead. The bang that echoed was telltale of what just transpired. A bullet hole had gone right through Gula's chest, which promptly fell down, hitting her head hard on the wall. You're a big murderer. You're the one going to hell. And her head explodes. The helmet she wore activated, and the resulting explosion kicked up tons of dust and smoke. By the time it dissipated, the body was headless, yet the wall behind her barely suffered any damage. Yep, rip dead again. By the way, the reason I didn't stop Seto from saying and gun, which really probably shouldn't have, but regardless, mainly because we already saw this scene before. And this is the second way to empty the gun. You can thank me later for saving your lives, since we won't need to vote for this hour slice. Superbia threw the now empty gun away and walked off before anyone said anything. Everyone was too surprised and frozen in shock to do anything at the sword anyway. Ancora grabbed the gun while no one else moved. While she was doing it, she had a thought of for Gula in her head and turned to look at the body, which was now a mess on the floor. A mess that was getting redder by the moment. What just happened? Sick. I'm going to be sick. He walked away from the others, not content remaining near the dead body. I should have stepped in. Maybe I could have prevented it.
Don't blame yourself over it. I guess something like that was inevitable.
True said, oh true. Now what? What about the vote?
I've got another hour to think about it, but maybe there's another way. It's like me said, the votes aren't necessary.
They are if we want to make it further in. We need a vote. We can't just kill everyone one by one until we hit 3 left, unless you want to be unable to disarm the bomb. As much as everyone hated to admit it, all the survivors fell similarly. Gula dying was an unwanted outcome, but it meant they wouldn't die for the next hour, and yet they were still trapped in the section until they voted again. For some of them, it also gave them a clear target to eliminate next. Not that any of them really were as close to Gula as to wish for revenge, but Superbia's threat was made manifest. Let's split up and gather our thoughts. The group agreed and everyone set off in a different direction. Ancora left them first, splitting from the rest of them to check out around the corner further south past the room she explored with Alvaridia and Ira. Maybe now would be a good time to hack. Let's see, matching frequencies are Tristidia, Superbia, and Ira. I'm very curious to see what Superbia is up to, but I've got choices it seems. Anyway, who's it going to be? Superbia. We'll solve the puzzle and then we're going to skip ahead, by the way, for those who are curious. A, do, L, B, I, B, L, I, Tear apart rabbit and lion. Oh. Forgot about that. I was like, wait a second, one more step. All right, and this one, and at this point, we know that Superbia will. Hey, we got a new lion, sweet. So now we know that now we have full trust with Superbia, and now we know that she switched the nameplates for us and Superbia. Eventually, the helmet rebooted, and Cora's vision began filled with Tristidia holding her to help her back onto her feet. Was it him? Oh, by the way, somebody knocked off her helmet, or kicked her helmet, essentially. Could it be that he closed the distance this quickly and knocked out the helmet in time it was taking me to have the connection back? Are you okay? And Cora harbored the strange feeling that perhaps it has been his fault. She acted surprised when he was holding her, only to pull away from him after a few seconds. I'm fine, don't worry over me.
Hey, wait up. We have to meet up with the group.
I'm going there, it's fine. Shrugging the light dizziness she was feeling as a result of the altercation, Cora put as much distance between them as she could, making a beeline for the voting consoles. That's a good question. We'll figure it out. We can figure it out, Seto. I think I know. Surely they would all gather to do the vote soon. It was 20 minutes past the hour, so they still had 40 minutes, but there was nothing to do until then except vote. I can't shake this feeling that someone did something I was unaware during this part. Something's missing. Feels like running into a wall head first with your eyes closed. Not good. On the way to the staircase to the voting consoles, Cora passed by Viridia and Ira, but she didn't really acknowledge their presence, instead acting like she was in a hurry to go meet with the others at the crossroads. Why are they still in this wing? The only explanation for Viridia is she's taking the me card that belonged to Gula, but Ira doesn't have anything to do here. Unless he was there to keep everyone distracted from what she was doing. I know she switched the portrait, so I definitely have to bring that up later. And Cora hesitated as those thoughts went through her head. There was an even bigger problem at hand, and there was no way to deduce it given the puzzle piece of information she had. The bigger problem is, who knocked me offline? All of these details will have to be shared for the vote. It's probably safer to talk about it when they're physically incapable of movement in front of the shotguns. She arrived at the staircase leading up to the crossroads, and Vidya approached her, closing in on her from the entrance to the first hallway. Oh, there you are. Trist and me were looking everywhere for you. You mean Trist and I? No, it was me, not you. I mean what I said. I'm just saying it's incorrect to say them and me like that. Besides, you could just say we. Hey, who cares if it's correct or not? Are you a teacher or something? Besides, it doesn't really matter. Just forget it. What's important is that we're going to take another vote very soon, so be ready with us. Yeah, I know. I'm heading there. The conversation came to a bit of a standstill, and Vidya was clearly hesitating. The exact nature of the reason behind the hesitation was lost on Cora, was because of her Lupe episode earlier. If she wanted to get anything out of him, she'd have to take the first step. But what would he answer? Cora knew what she wanted to talk about. Without much hesitation on her end, she spoke, forthcoming about her incident. Someone assaulted me. I didn't see who it was. Is that so? Assault? Like punched you? I was struck from behind. I passed out for a few minutes not long ago. It's probably this helmet that caused me to lose consciousness. You know, how we accidentally hit the ear of her helmet on the doorframe earlier and she screamed bloody murder? Imagine that, but from a direct hit. I wasn't around back there, so I can't say who attacked you. Do you have any suspects? He was more open to talk about it now. That act of concern for her calmed Cora. You came out of the first hallway, so it sounded like it wasn't you. Trist found me and helped me back up, so maybe it was him? I can't rule out that possibility, otherwise Ira and Ava were both in Wing A too, and then there's Bia. Also, wait a second. Where's my note card that has the people's names on it? Oh, it's this one. Shoot. With pencil. I need to erase stuff. I think I know who the middle section is, if I'm being completely honest. Though how we get to that point is a myth beyond me. Why the angry face, Whams? Oh, can't be Bia. She's been around here this whole time as far as I'm aware. But you went into the hallway, didn't you? You might have missed her slipping by you. Trist went to Wing A when we split up. If she did, he'd have run into her, I think. And Cora could be sure now. Superbia definitely could have had a hand in doing something bad, but if Tristidia didn't run into her... Okay, let's eliminate Superbia from the suspects then. That would be great, yes. They had been so engrossed in their talk that they didn't notice the bunny girl coming by. She walked down the stairs to join them with a slightly irate tone. It's Trist? I do think it's Trist. So hold on, I'll show it after the vote. Well, hold on. Are we going to vote now? Just know are we going to vote now? Hold on, let me say my reasoning here. Well, actually, I think it's NVIDIA, but I don't know how the hell you would get NVIDIA from this. Because, put it this way, right? Here's the idea. Lux and Ira is dead. In this pathway, we know that at this split, NVIDIA dies. We know 100% NVIDIA dies up here, so NVIDIA can't be this one or this one. At the same time, this is probably Superbia. She's at 99% right now. The only other person that we can see is Tristidia, and we can also do another choice of Tristidia further on at this point. Oops, sorry. Like, we could do another voice of Tristidia, but we could also do another vote of NVIDIA. And that means I'm thinking it could be Vidi. But the problem is, keep in mind there are 6 other things we have to get. Right now, there's only 4. And there's this part, and this part that's still locked. And there's still the box at the beginning. So we still gotta figure that out. There's a lot that we still need to do. But anyway, back to the story. We're going to vote now. Look, time's ticking. We've not reached the next set of brooms yet. 3 already died, so you got 50% chance of coming out alive too. Would it hurt you to be a little more sensitive sometimes? Nobody likes a giant bitch. Something's not quite right. Generally speaking, Superbia is a giant bitch, fine, but she's very forthcoming now. I mean, more than usual. She's definitely up to something. Superbia shook her head and clicked her tongue, annoyed. Just come up here. It's not magic. It's just a few stairs. Looking behind herself, and Cora noticed the rest of the group closing in. She decided to walk up the stairs before they caught up with the trio already in the crossroads. Contrary to what one might think, nothing special happened as the group acknowledged everyone else and stepped forward for the vote. And Cora took her spot in front of the booth with the shotgun designated for her. But here's the thing. We do know that Superbia is going to die. We're going to get everybody to vote for us. We need to get everybody to vote for us because Superbia switched the name cards. So this one is a Superbia ending. This has to be. All the cards were swiped. All helmets were fixed. At the moment, no one can move anymore. Based on what I saw, it's obvious Superbia is the culprit, but we can't get anyone to vote for her. They're going to kill the wrong person altogether. They already were all in agreement. Only Ancora's voice rose to interrupt the floor going Superbia's way. Stop! No, we can't vote for Superbia.
What's this all about? Another one of your insights?
You're defending her? We already made up our minds, so the voters should shut up. And now Ira's defending the trace too, but isn't he close to Superbia? No way. If you're voting for her, you're going to kill me. I saw her change the portraits around. You could switch them, see? As if to prove that fact, Ancora lifted her own portrait from the console, then she put it back where it was. And each portrait could fit into other sockets. Don't you remember their layout from the first round and how some of them moved?
Now that you mention it, we sorted it in an interesting way. On the left, it mostly made of herbivores. In the middle, we have omnivores. On the right, carnivores.
You're completely correct. Bia's portrait moved from the herbivores over to omnivores.
And Cora's portrait moved over to herbivore area despite being a bear.
Whatever then. If you want to believe that and vote for Cora, be my guest. You won't have her death on my mind then. Like you have anyone's death on your mind, you killed Ula without second thought. And nobody's dead for this hour slice yet. Mission accomplished, I think. We're all survived that hour. So it doesn't even make you nervous, huh? The fact we're going to vote for me? No, not at all. The slight hesitation was telling. So what do we do now? Instead of telling Superbia she was full of shit, I've already decided to change the subject back to voting, which I needed to do before the discussion turned into a half-hour-long waste of time. I don't think we have much of a choice. We have to vote for Cora. Isn't that dangerous? What do we really do to get her? I'm okay with it. I trust in this. You should too. I'd rather trust... I don't know why I stuttered. I'd rather trust Cora if I had to pick it between her and Bia, to be perfectly honest. But wait, I changed my mind. I think something else is going on. I don't know why I'm stuttering for... She's not Ira. Sorry, but my vote's already in. It's do or die. Superbia clicked her tongue in an annoyed tone. Look, you can't vote for me. I mean Cora. But she had already put her vote in for herself. The numerous slip-ups as well as her insistence on having the group vote for her only fanned the flames of doubt, even for Ira.
Goodbye then, Bia. And honestly, good riddance.
And Cora put in her vote as well. The screens above the voting console settled on Superbia's symbol. It was clear what was to follow. It was her execution. Every shotgun but the victims released their hold, leaving the participants to witness the macabre outcome. Superbia is dead. It took only a moment for the gunshot to come. It sounded like it had shot Superbia at point-blank range, but in reality, there were no bullet holes in the helmet she wore. Time slowed down. Eventually, everything froze. Alright, another dream sequence. It's rabbit season! But Superbia is dead. The bitch is finally dead! She killed Gula and was about to kill us, and she did kill us in a different timeline. 3 down, that's true. There you are. Ugh, I'm freaking dead, aren't I? It would seem so, yes. Fuck. There's no need to swear now. It's over. All of it, that is. All your life and your work and your hopes. Sound to me like something I'd want to swear about. It's meaningless. It won't bring them back. It's also not going to bring you back alive. It's over, so please accept it. Fine, I'll accept it. It can't be over that quickly, though, can it? Not just yet. We have some time still. First of all, do you know your name? Oh, getting another name. We're getting another name. So this is Superbia. No. Whatever I'm thinking about can't be it. It's probably... You're thinking, Marco. Your name's Annie Sensoshi. Annie Sansusi. What about my family? They did too? Sorry, I can't say that. And why not, if it doesn't matter? Just fucking say it already. Swearing at me won't make me say it. I just can't because I know it, yet I can't say it. Something's stopping me. Whatever. So my name's Annie, huh? Sensausi. Yes, in life, you were a real bitch. Punch you in the face. I'm just saying it how it is, and besides, you can't deny that. You did some really bad stuff, but I can't say them either. What's with all the secrecy? Piecing it together is part of the process. I can't just give the answer here. That must be annoying to you, but it's just how it is. I think I'd have a right to know this kind of shit. Unfortunately, the dead have no rights. They only have lefts. Is that your idea of a joke? No, I mean that they leave things behind. What did you leave behind, Annie? Ah, a fortune, I guess. I remember being rich. No, you weren't rich. Your parents were. When you realized you weren't rich and your control was lessened, you took things from others. I'll just leave it at that. Guess you were right. A real bitch. Too late for change now. Besides, I don't wanna. I didn't think you would. Our time is coming to an end. What do you mean, our time? Are you dead too? Not yet. Eventually. Probably. Either way, what's your final words? What are your final words? I bet you could tell my parents that I'm sorry. And for God, why do you exist? Why do atrocities exist in your name? Dust to dust, ashes to ashes. You've surrendered your right to live. I'll now carry your memory. Sure, whatever. She was religious? What? On the floor was a dead body, much like the one before, and neither of them had been cleaned up. Yet, one of them was fresher than the other. The bunny's immobile body remained flat to the ground. If only she would simply be beheaded, then a pool of blood would grow underneath her body, and that would be it. However, much like in Luxuria's case, a grimmer fate awaited her. Much like in Luxuria's case, the helmet exploded. She didn't carry anything interesting, and everyone was repulsed by the sight of a dead body, so no one approached her. Instead, everyone gathered at a respectable distance from it in silence. Well, that's dealt with. A single thought went through Ancora's head. Before she said anything, someone else did. This is where you ended up, huh? I'm not really surprised. He wasn't speaking to anybody in particular. It seemed as though he was more talking to himself. No longer wishing to see the dead body, everyone split up. It was clear this outcome was coming, yet no one really wanted to talk or to celebrate. Except Ira. He didn't leave. Ancora remained close by as the others left their vicinity. She didn't mean to eavesdrop, but it just happened on its own anyway. If you just stop trying to do this shit, you would be lying dead on the floor. Why did I do everything for now? Well, now that you're dead, all this stuff I helped for... Ira's the helper. Ira's the murderer. The boy slowly fell down to his knees, still intently watching the body. Ancora felt more and more awkward. She thought perhaps she should leave them alone. No, I have to find out who the traitor is. There was a chance it was Superbia. Ira's words could help. Curiosity took over her feeling of awkwardness and she remained, making herself smaller by nonchalantly walking to a nearby wall and leaning against it. I knew I should have done any of it. Like I had a choice. Stupid. I was stupid and you were stupid too. He punched against the floor not too far from her body. It was almost like he was sobbing in his helmet. Very quickly, he quieted himself again, clearing his throat. I can't even blame anyone for killing you too. Would be way too fucking easy, huh? But you chose to do this by doing all this stupid shit. This is all about choice, isn't it? You could choose, but I couldn't. I can't choose. I can't ever choose. It's all just your choice. It's always just what matters to you. What then? What if I had chosen? Ira doesn't want to be the helper anymore. Poor Ira. Ira just doesn't want to help anymore. Maybe you would be dead there, and then you'd have seen when I make my own choice. It's not because I want to take control, God damn it. It's because I want to help you and help others. Clearly didn't care about my help, huh? Maybe I was just blind. I should make my own fucking choices now. Yeah, Ira just wants a good friend. That's so true. Or Ira. I never wanted a leader. I just wanted you. Another punch on the ground. It was strong enough to cause the room to shake a little. And Cora could see he was well built, but this much? He stood up. And Cora recoiled, trying to hide herself against the corner. Now that he was back up, what if he decided she was a threat? It was his choice now. A gloom realization set in. He hadn't been doing much because he was leaving it to Superbia. And now she wasn't here anymore. But he didn't come towards her at all. In fact, he staggered toward the staircase, his arms moving back and forth, slowly under him as though he was a zombie. Perhaps he was one now. Poor Ira. Cautiously, Cora closed the distance again. She was going to tail him a little, see what he'd do. Everyone else had already left the area and gone into Wing A, presumably to unlock the door and proceed forward. However, after coming down the stairs, Cora realized that he knew she was there. Are you following me? He asked the words without turning around. When she didn't answer, he faced her again, looking slightly ticked off, at least as much as he could look with that helmet on. You know, Bia really hated you. Yeah, I thought that. Hey, you're not stuttering anymore. Ira chose to ignore the less polite part of the observation. But I kept trying to tell her that you aren't that bad as far as we could see yet. He's done stuttering, let's go. She never cared for it. Said he knew too much or something daft as that. And Cora remained silent, curious as to where this was leading. But now, I don't know anymore. I'm torn, you know? He stepped towards her. She took a reflexive step backwards. Something in her told her she had to run, to move, to go away. It's not safe here. He's not in his right mind. Anyone would lose their way after something like this. I'm torn because I fucking loved her, you know? I'm torn because I don't want her to fucking hurt anybody, but she gone and did it. Did it before, did it now. To me, by dying like a bitch-ass chump. And you know why this happened? It's cause of you and everyone else. It's cause everyone here killed her that I feel that way. So I'm gonna make my own choice. Uh-oh, kept moving towards her. Unfortunately, he was much bigger than Cora. The more she stepped backwards, the more she tried to find a way to run around him and rejoin the group. Staying behind had been a bad idea. All she managed to do was trip when she got to the staircase, her ass falling flat into one of the cement stairs. He closed the distance rather quickly. I ain't gonna kill you. That's never going to be me, but I voted for her too. I have no idea what to think about. By getting me to vote for you, you made me vote for her. An innocent was spared. Not innocent of all things, mind you, but in this case, an innocent. Tell him already, just say the words. But Cora's mouth felt like the lead. No matter how much she tried to articulate a sound, she couldn't oppose him. He was menacing, and she was powerless. She hated that. Her hate was beginning to form into some monochrome of strength, but it was already too late already. Just stay here for a while. Stop fucking up the group, you and your hallucinations. A hard punch flew at her, but thankfully she managed to dodge it in extremis by rolling to the side, the stairs digging into her skin and bones. Leaping off, she ran around him. But his arm reached out and grabbed her. The lion doesn't let go this easy. You don't run from them. They'll catch up and get you. And just like that, a solid punch landed onto Cora's helmet. The girl fell to the ground like a marionette without its strings. The reverberation caused her to pass out on the spot. Uh-oh. Someone was shaking her. She could tell. The contact was clear, but she couldn't see anything. Even talking yielded no results. She couldn't even hear her own voice. Maybe she didn't have a voice. Maybe she was still lying in bed. Her mother was shaking her to wake her up, but she didn't want to wake up. School could wait. She said something else, but she couldn't hear her own voice. Was she mute? Did her ears not function properly? One hand reached for the bed sheets to adjust them on her. She had been in a deep, deep dream, and now she had to wake up? The hand shaking her became more insistent. The girl was about to turn over to tell her off as she always did, but after one arm extended to grab the bed sheets, she noticed something was wrong. First of all, she was asleep alone. She never slept alone. There was always someone else next to her. Who? It was hard to remember. There was something else, though, or perhaps a lack of something else. She couldn't grab the bed sheets. They didn't exist. Pain surged through her. She fell before. Her body remembered. She was on the cold, hard ground. A hand was shaking her to bring her back to reality. Nope, we're awake. Is it Trist? Calling it's Trist. Finally, vision and sound returned to her. This was not her bedroom. The woman next to her was not her mother. It's Averidia. She was in the school. And then a cursed school. Cora, are you okay? What are you saying doesn't make any sense. I can't get up. Averidia helped her back onto her feet, but the girl almost immediately fell down again. Her legs were shaking. The older woman supported her, holding her and helping her to walk over to the staircase close by. Cora sat down, regaining her consciousness at an absurdly slow rate. Hi, Cora.
Or sorry, not Ancora, Avaridia. What's she doing? What happened? What time is it? She very quickly panicked. The timer had been ticking down even as she was passed out. It's over. A fight broke out while you were unconscious. Ira died and I ran away. What? Imagine my surprise when I found you here, out cold on the ground. Any details? Do you know about the Tinkerbell effect? It's an expression describing... I'll just let her explain it, I guess. No, I don't. The Tinkerbell effect is named after a famous fairy from a movie made for children. Taking from the fact everyone believed in her survival, which brought her back to life, I think that's what happened. Huh? I don't follow. Ira believed everyone to be against him, to have cost him what he'd been yearning for the most, and made the choice to pursue his own agenda. This, in turn, turned everyone against him, and what he believed became true. But beliefs don't work that way. Are you sure about that? I can believe all I want that I'm out of here, but it doesn't make me leave this place. Probably not, because your state of being has already been confirmed. However, the opposite exists too, the reverse Tinkerbell effect. The more you believe you'll be fine and that everything will work out, the less they will because you're grown too complacent to act. This is the same thing here. We all believed we'd make it out alive, so now we can't get out alive due to what transpired. And Cora slowly stood up, only to fall back down onto the stairs. Sit down for a few more moments. You're still not quite there. I want to get back up. We need to solve the rooms. The timer is ticking. The hour's going away. It's too late now. Instead, I have something much more important to tell you, so please pay attention. And Cora couldn't talk back. Her innate curiosity was piqued and she remained silent to listen. It's a message from Viti, which... But as soon as Avaridia began talking, a loud static noise erupted instead, and a severely distorted voice came strange directives. Hack Gula, directives, order by table, order by table, order by table. Despite that, she didn't react to it, as if she did not want to hear it or even say it. So next choice is hacking Gula somewhere. Okay. As Avaridia continued speaking, her head turned to the side. She was looking behind Ancora, towards the top of the stairs. You! What happened in... But she didn't finish her sentence. 2 gunshots rang out, and their effect was immediately visible. Avaridia fell down the stairs in a heap and the inevitable followed. An explosion robbed the teacher of her head, knocking Ancora away and back to the ground. In the dust spreading around her, she could barely see anything of the person who had shot Avaridia. A frosty shiver ran up her spine. Do I check trust? It's Ira! He's alive? That shape. That's Ira, isn't it? But isn't he dead? Ancora was shot at that moment. She finally managed to catch a glimpse of her assailant, yet that wasn't enough to guard her against a real physical bullet boring a hole through her helmet. She then died too, her head engulfed in a hot mess of an explosion. All of her senses shut down right as it began, and there she was no more. Lion, wolf, and horse are still alive. Hey, Mrs. Vian. Doesn't make any sense that I would be the one to shoot. He's dead. Also, what was up with that strange screeching? I couldn't even think what was going on. Was Ira the one to knock the helmet offline, then snag the gun? That's the only way, which means killing Superbia during the vote triggered him enough to go insane? I don't know, I'm fading. But the box remains shut. No, he didn't kill everybody, because Wolf and Rabbit are still alive. So I think Ira saved Tristan and Viti. We got the bunny. Okay, so I have another idea now. The box has to be important, true, but I have an idea. So now we need to go up because yeah, there's the key. So we need to befriend Gula now. So right now I want to say Nvidia. The idea would be Nvidia. I don't think the first one matters. I'm going to say Tristidia because I think the other one up here is Avaridia, right? Gula at the split. Help Nvidia, no. Help Ira. Yeah, no, we need to help Ira. Sorry, Ira is the one that we need to befriend. Gula, split. We go to Ira and we hack Ira's helmet to go in there. Okay. Then we need to take Luxurious Side. I don't think taking Luxurious Side is a good idea. Ooh, okay, press Tristidia for details to get Gula. So yeah, we're gonna kill Gula next. Wait, why can't I go? Like, what? Yeah, Gula's gonna die on this, but why can't I go further? Oh, sorry. Ancora went with Luxuria and Superbia, sorry. And then we need to press Trist for details, and then we're gonna go here. What's Trust 1? Let's go here and see what's going on. So in this path, Ira's dead. For those who are curious, Ira is dead in this one. Superbia, Luxuria, and Ancora emerged in the hallway. The door did not lock up yet. It was not until the timer was done counting down. It didn't look like any of the teams are out yet. Actually, you know what? Since we've already seen this before, and I know what the last option is. Because the last option is... the I key. Never mind, it's a G. The G key. Sorry, the G key is the one I need. Hold on. Done. Yeah, so Lux is still alive in this one. Hold on. So we need to go Nvidia, Ira, Gula, Ira. Agreed with the rest. Tristidia for details. Go. So yeah, Lux is alive in this one. Let's skip through this because we just need to get to the helmet. But we need the G key. So let's see what happens if we give him the G key. I like the G key more. I think it's kind of familiar too. Oh really? That's a bummer. I wanted to trade it for the A key for your G key. You know, like A for Ancora. Well, alright, that's okay by me, yeah, so that's... Because then he uses it and then dies. Which we know. So it's an anagram. And then Nvidia's dead. Yep, Nvidia's dead. Let's hack Gula. So now we've pretty much seen all of the stuff, so I'm not going to really need to show it now. Order by table. Hey, Justin, how's it going? Is it talking about the periodic table of elements? Maybe? No. Order by table. Yeah, okay, hold on. Sorry, it's been a while since I've seen the periodic table of elements. So it should go B, C, N. Yeah, I figured it was the periodic fucking table of elements. P, S, K. I have to look up like an actual periodic table of elements, not gonna lie. Y, I, UF, what? FU? No. What are you gonna say? Hey Morgan, welcome to the stream, how's it going? You know. No. Listen, it's been a while and I've never taken a chemistry class. G-L-I-B-E. No N-E. N-A, there's no N-A. Then M-G, no M-G. A-L for aluminum, no. S-I. Wait, S-I then P? S-I-P? Then S, then... No, I think it's all singles. Hold on. No. P. Okay, so it goes P. After O is... Oh, after O is F. I'm fucking dumb. I didn't see that there. Then P is after F. Then S, then Y, K. Yeah, and then pull up K. K is before Y. This should be it. There we go. Sorry, I had to look at it. You said to me to check you out? Oh, but thanks, Morgan. Yeah, Waluigi's a pretty cool guy. He's at his mansion right now. Alright. Sparky, stop. Alright, let's see what the cowgirl's doing. Because now we will have full trust with her, so... It's her and Tristidia. Earlier I could not help but ascertain your fascination with my more deathly elements of life. Gula and Tristidia were sitting together on some benches in the crossroad. After a few more seconds of the awkward silence, Gula had finally broken it, prompting Tristidia to reply suddenly interested. By the way, I just want to let you guys know what this path entails. So, just know that in the first vote, Ira died. We decided to split into a group to go with Superbia, Luxuria, and ourselves. We solved the room and discovered that the person's name who is the daughter of the principal who died, who was innocent, is among us. We don't know her name, but we do know that she is part of this group. Probably for gold, probably that too. And then with that, everyone made it out of the rooms alive except for Nvidia. Nvidia found a key, traded our A key, our G key with the A key, and because of that, he ended up using it to get outside the zone where his helmet detonated, killing him. Now everyone's exploring before the next vote. Yeah.
So, what do you make of that? You seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about it before confronting me on that.
Well, to be completely honest, I'm entirely unable to understand a macabre interest on the subject of eternal darkness. Tristidia was going to answer, but at that last moment he stood up, following him. Gula did much of the same. The two of them began walking around the consoles with no clear goal in particular.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. This weird interest of mine, I don't know where it's from. I guess a part of me is just unable to stop thinking about life and death.
While Tristidia was talking, Gula wandered around, looking at the equipment. Now that there was no cylinder covering any of it, she was free to examine it without any issues.
Ever wonder what happens to you after you die?
Perhaps, perhaps not. I deduced it won't truly be my concern once I've reached that outcome.
I don't mean to just about yourself. The world's a strange place, and so much of it is weird. Well, what if our deaths affected it way more than we originally thought?
I'm afraid you've lost me. Gula was tampering with the portraits on one of the machines. While she spoke with Tristidia, her hands were busying themselves, changing the Avaridia portrait with her own. What? Oh, she figured out that she could change the portraits, didn't she? So Avaridia and Gula's portraits changed. Remember this, please. No, wait. She was doing it on her own right off the bat. Someone most likely told her, but who? What's up?
Sure.
Yeah, what's up?
You want to look
Sure, Chimchanga? Yeah, just yeah, just
the car?
yeah. Yeah, that's all I have. Tristidia was too focused on his semi-monologue to notice what she was doing. He had stopped walking and was staring off into a metaphorical abyss.
What is consciousness? What determines that I am something that sees and thinks? Are thoughts not just the product of my experiences based on pattern recognition?
So somebody has told people how to switch. We know Superbia knows, and Gula knows as well.
Interesting. It's not a question that can really be answered, I think. Life's strange. Do we exist because the world lets us exist, or does the world exist because we let it exist? There are a few different schools of philosophy on the subject of reality. If the world exists because we can see it, then doesn't it stand that once we die it stops existing? What'd you miss?
Gula knows the same thing Superbia does and switches portraits. That's it. In a moment of attention, Gula shrugged before pointing over to the empty spot that once housed Ira's body. Their identity which once resided in that very location has obtained the status of deceased, and I consider them as alive as you and I.
Does their perspective matter? Does yours matter? Does mine matter? Who actually is the important life here? Is there even an important life, or does the perception of reality constitute only a baseline element? None of us actually matter.
Tristidia sighed, launching himself into a new monologue while Gula was busy with the consoles. As the Horsemaster one spoke, the two of them moved around the room again, switching from console to console. Is she changing all of them to manipulate the vote?
Take a video game, for example. If we humans have created video games based on systems that can only exist in reality, their life isn't so different. If we die in a video game, we'll start back at the beginning. When we die then, does life restart? I can't think there's nothing after life. I don't believe in any heaven or hell, but there can't be nothing. How do you feel nothing? How do you see nothing? How is it possible to not perceive exactly?
That's a scary thought, Tristidia, and I don't want to find out.
These concepts are so alien to me, to you, to all of us who are still alive, in fact.
I suppose you're not wrong at some level, but determining which elements are falsehoods and derisions, well, ascertaining the truth will prove to be more difficult than you can ever imagine. Gula was certainly not paying too much attention, considering the flowery vocabulary she used as part of her noble pattern was just vague enough. Even Tristidia noticed after a moment.
Or at least it wouldn't kill you to listen to what I'm saying, Gula, even if you don't believe in any of it. I think it's important to have different opinions on existence.
I know, right? He's vibing way hard. Very well, in that case. What I believe is that time is a river, always flowing towards the same side. To suggest that existence renews itself upon some specific ceasing their biological activities is preposterous.
Then how do you explain existence? How are we all even here? All of us can affect how the flow goes.
Gula remained silent. At this point, she didn't fiddle with the consoles anymore. Maybe her attention had been taken by being directly involved in the speech this time.
Nobody can answer that question. This is all just a hypothesis, but if I had to guess, someone on the planet had the ability to keep the universe rolling. And the rest, they're all just non-playable characters or NPCs. They exist, they think, they act, but just programming. They don't actually exist. All this is a worrying thought.
That's an interesting thought. What if, like, all the people you've been talking to are actually NPCs? In that, like, you're just in a simulation the entire time. It's the Matrix all over again. Oh, God. Trist is thinking crazy thoughts. Based on that thwarted thought, you might have much higher chances to be an entity without free will, as the odds of not playing in your favor.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
After a short silence, Tristidia turned around and began walking towards the meeting spot. Gula took only a few moments before deciding to follow after him. On another subject, who shall we be casting our ballot for?
That's for the group to decide. This time we're not pressed for time at all, so we can easily think about it.
Some of the other 5 voters will possibly organize themselves in a similar way.
Yes, I've already thought about it. To manipulate the votes, even if everyone was against it, or maybe some of them lied. Either way, it's dangerous.
Tristidia scratched the back of his head, seemingly worried. I believe it originally was Lux's idea, Trist. We should vote for her this time.
We'll see, but I do take this into consideration.
Okay, that's enough information. Time's ticking. The feed cut at the moment, restoring vision to Ancora's helmet. So here's the thing. They're wanting to vote for Lux, but voting for Lux votes for us. So Gula wants to kill us, so we know that Avaridia, we need to vote for Avaridia if we want to kill Gula. But if we vote for Gula, we'll kill Avaridia, and then everyone will be confused. Suburbia came by Ancora after the blonde girl had left the corner in which she'd previously been exploring. Cora, we're gathering back up, I think. Did you get your me card? Cora was ready to do the vote just yet. Deciding to extend the time towards which it would happen, she shook her head despite having found a me card. No, this area is as empty as before. There's gotta be more, right? I bet there are a lot of me cards we're just not seeing because... You know how we need 39 me cards to finish this? If you calculate it like this, you get 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4. Together they add up to 39. This accounts for 6 hours of votes. You're right. That means we should have found 8 this time around. Our total should be 17, but the rooms only gave us me cards until we reach 50. And I'd be fine with 15 since we're 6 left, but VD had one, and now he's gone. Well, let's gather up anyway. We could figure this shit out then. She took the lead and Ancora followed behind. The duo made their way back through Wing A with the goal of regrouping with the others in the crossroads. I think we need to vote for Ava, yeah. You know? Forget it. What was that all about? I don't know. I feel strange inside, like I'm missing something. Maybe... The girl paused, stopping her movements near the puzzle door. Maybe you're missing Ira. You two were dating, right? And for all you keep saying, I think he needed him more than he needed you. Nonsense! Fuck that! He needed me! No, please stop. You're deceiving yourself. Look, just figure out what it really meant to you, your companionship with him. Because if you don't figure that out for yourself, I think you won't get a chance to. It's now or never. Superbia remained silent, and the two of them walked again. Soon they arrived at the crossroads proper. Yes, that's my idea. Please, don't feel bad for me. The group had been in a heated debate over who to vote be next on the chopping block. Luxuria apparently was made known her idea for the others to vote for her. Gulu was supporting her choice, but Tristidia wasn't in agreement for it. Avaridia was staying on the sidelines. As Encore and Superbia approached the survivors, the horse-masked boy's tone turned harsher.
You're one of the few I still trust, so it can't be you. You're also the lowest threat of the group. I refuse to vote for you because there have been better targets.
What's going on? Why does Lux want to be voted out?
She says she wants to be voted out because she's fine with it. She's trying to win cube points, and I don't agree with it. You can't be everyone's martyr, Lux.
Well, I agree with her. To be honest, I don't actually care who gets voted for next, if it's not me.
And the good old selfish routine, I should have expected it.
If they agree with it, then there's nothing to do about it. Indeed, my choice has already been made. Luxuria managed to gather 3 votes out of them all. Superbia, Gula, and herself together almost had the majority already. All Encore had to do was agree with it, and they would have 4, giving the majority regardless of what the others would vote.
But first I want to know, and Cora, did you get a me card? You should have found one by now. But we need to have everyone's ready for the vote as soon as possible. Yes, I know we have another hour. Shut up.
Superbia was going to talk, but Justitia cut her off as soon as she moved, which startled her enough to shut up even before she had said anything.
You of all people should shut your mouth and let me talk.
Where did that come from, you fat lard ass?
I know what you've done, so if you don't want me to tell everyone else, you better shut up.
Superbia was quick to retreat to her rabbit hole. Without any more interruptions, Justitia resumed his questioning.
So did you get a me card yet?
Why are they even voting for Luxuria anyway? Did she have some change of heart, or was this her plan from the beginning? She can't bring herself to vote for anyone else? Avridia stepped forward to say something, against all odds, but before she talked, Inkor nodded. Sorry, Bia. I lied because I didn't feel ready to vote. Not again.
Good. We can vote now, then. I get that you don't want anyone to die again, but we're 5 minutes past the third hour, and how many me cards do we have? 16 or something? One's gone with Viti. We can't keep bickering like this. We need a plan, and we need 39 me cards, or everyone dies.
Reminding everyone of that fact, Justitia caused a ripple of panic to spread across the group, and Cora found it a nice way to remind everyone of their current predicament. Ah, you're right, we're going to die, even a bigger reason to begin at once. That's why we should get the vote over quickly, just vote for me. Yes, let's just vote, get this over with. No, that's wrong, this is all wrong, don't vote for Lux. The portraits all changed around, they need to be convinced of that fact. I have no idea why, but I feel like this isn't correct, it's not the way to go. But I'm willing to go. This is correct. This is our designated plan for the time being, unless you propose a change, which would be ludicrous at this stage of our debate. And Cora shook her head before walking over to the console. No, look, it's not the same. We can't vote for Lux right now.
I concur. Bia, you've been the biggest pain in the ass since the start. With what Ira told us, you don't exactly look like an angel. In fact, due to his involvement, I think you're more than just a prissy bunny girl. I think you're a decent candidate for the mastermind behind all this.
No fucking way. I'm not voting for myself. Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Ira was your accomplice. He felt guilty, so he sacrificed himself to atone. The only people rich enough to do everything we've seen here, all these replicated rooms and lockdown of the school, that's you, Superbia. You're the mastermind, aren't you?
No way, that's not me. It can't be me. I'm not rich.
That's true, her parents are rich.
True. Her words caught Justitia by surprise. My parents are rich, but I ain't touching a single bit of that goddamn money until they pass away, and as far as I remember, they're all very well alive and healthy. I can't have made this whole shit here. I'm not any wealthier than anyone else. I very much doubt that statement. That's not what I meant anyway, but it's good that those doubts were dispelled. What I meant was, look at the consoles. Approaching the consoles, the others looked up upon them and the portraits on the buttons. After a few moments of consideration to humor and Cora, Superbia shrugged nonchalantly. What's so different?
She's right, something's off, I think.
Gwilla made an exaggerated motion with her hands to catch everyone's attention. There's nothing different. You're all being misled by this little girl. I think she wants to buy some time for herself for some reason, so don't let her cloud your judgment. Wait a second, we can at least take a minute to hear what Justitia has to say. We have plenty of time this session, so we should make use of it to its fullest. And Gula's speech had reverted to less flowery words, huh? I think she does this when she gets stressed out, which means she's walking on a tightrope.
I think some portraits were switched now that I have a proper look at them. I'm not sure though. Could be the misinformation effect. Maybe I only started seeing it after Cora mentioned it. The ones that were switched were, I think they're Bia and Cora's.
Huh? What does that mean? Cora, explain yourself right now. You want to get me voted out by having people wanting to vote you dead, is that it? No, I wouldn't do that. Why would I change them to bring attention to it? Does anyone remember what the alien looked like? What do you mean by that? If two portraits were switched, maybe they weren't the only ones. Is there a portrait that's in a different spot on every console now? I don't think so. Further examination showed that all the consoles indeed had their portraits in the same spot. So it's not an attempt to manipulate a group for a vote for someone, while the other would vote for somebody else, and all votes would end up pointing to the same person. No, wait, no, something isn't adding up. There's more than was switched. I'm utterly convinced. I don't know why, but I'm convinced of that. It's because I saw it, of course. It's going to be very hard to get them to buy it, I'm aware. And also, before that, earlier when Ira died, I had this weird vision too. I was talking to him and no wait, I wasn't talking to him. It was like I was someone else talking to him. I don't know why I have these visions. I remember the consoles, the portraits being switched. 3 others were switched too. Which ones? You aren't making any sense. What in God's name are you talking about? Vision this, vision that, portraits being switched? This is fucking insane. The rest of the group watched, a little uneasy about the exchange. I don't think mine was changed anyway, so just vote for me, I'm okay with it. Do you hear this, Cora? Lux is willing to go instead of you despite the fact you clearly offer Rocker.
Offer Rocker?
Let's vote for Lux then, Cora. I'm sorry to say, but you're already being very, I don't know if I could trust these visions. Better her than me.
We could also vote for Bia, you know.
What?
It's also a valid option. You've been a serious pain this whole time, mastermind or not.
No, the one they have to vote for is Avridia. No, I understand now. The girl walked toward the random console, bringing a finger to run along the portraits while pensive. Let's stop humoring her. Wait, if you vote for anyone, you'll kill an innocent. Well, okay, maybe not for an innocent in the grand scheme of things, but you won't vote for the person you want dead. I know it's been switched now. All eyes were reverted on Ankara. The others who had been in a hurry to vote before were now considering her words, giving their natural curiosity being piqued. The only one who wasn't interested to hear any of it was Gula. This is clearly a waste of time. It is not. It is a waste of time for you, yes, because you're the one who got it all messed up. You're the one who changed the portraits. If everyone votes for Lux right now, Ava will die. The portraits were changed twice, in fact. I get it now. B as a minor switched, then whoever did it also switched Lux and Ava's portraits. It's a triangle of switching. I don't know who switched the others, but I know 2 portraits that were you're doing. Ula, Ava, and yours, and I think we shouldn't tolerate this. We have to vote for Ava. Everidia shuddered slightly, uncertain. Are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? I don't especially feel appeased to vote for myself, you know. If you don't, you'll die. Uh-oh. A sudden resonating hit smashed into the side of Ankara's helmet, which sent her to the ground. Her vision faded and all she could hear now was screaming. I did not do any of this! Do you think you can get away with manipulating me? This is not good, Ula. Can't do that kind of thing. You're taking her word over mine? What is that word coming to? She had visions. She's seen this, seen that. She's got no proof at all. Do you think that's fine, huh?
Shut up, everyone. Ula, when you get stressed, you start talking strangely.
Am not.
Yes, you are. I've noticed it already. Maybe others aren't that perceptive, but you're hiding something. Not only that, but I think I know what Cora's talking about. I've noticed it earlier. You were fiddling with the consoles as we talked, weren't you? I didn't put much mind into it before, but now it's clear. Ankara knew this too. We should vote for Ava.
Slowly, Ankara's vision was coming back. Next to her was Luxuria, who was checking onto her. Near her was Gula, who was being held by Superbia and Everidia. The hit probably came from her, knocked me right off. Sweet! So we're gonna kill Gula now! I guess. Ugh, the reverberation that happens in this helmet when you get hit is really awful. Right? It's fucking hell! Anyway, bring her to the console and let's vote for Ava. Remember, vote for Ava. No! I'm not dying because of this! I have to get out of here! Sorry, Ula. 2 girls yanked Gula over to her console and positioned themselves to their own afterwards. Luxuria, Tristidia, and Ankara all took their place at the console too, ready for the vote. Well, we're killing Gula. Sweet. Let's do it. I wonder if they change positions on here. They don't. Oh, that's unfortunate. I hope they actually all change positions.
Let's go. For Ava, then.
The group all voted almost in unison. Gula thrashed and screamed, but she couldn't get out of the hold. By the time the limit was almost up, Gula smashed her fist onto the console in a random portrait. Ankara also put in her vote. The screens above the voting console settled on Gula's symbol. It was clear what was to follow. It was her execution. Every shotgun but the victims released their hold, leaving the participants to witness the macabre outcome. Go! Gula's down. It took only a moment for the gunshot to come. It sounded like it had shot Gula at point-blank range, but in reality, there were no bullet holes in her helmet she wore. Time slowed down. Eventually, everything froze. Alright, let's hear her voice. Cow's tipping point. Let's go. Hello. Please enunciate your designation. I don't know. Some say my name is Pandora. That is a strange name, but greetings nevertheless. Write down Gula's name. I believe I am a deceased. Are you sure? You don't look dead to me. I cannot move, and it seems as though I'm floating. Yet it's also strangely peaceful. I guess you're dead then, but death is fine too. Ah, that may be true now that you mention it. I don't know if we know Gula's name by this point. It's kind of hard to make out who's talking. It feels like when you talk, I'm talking too. What is the meaning of it all? Maybe you're a part of me now, because I remember you. Is that so? What kind of person was I? You were a duplicitous cow in every sense of the word. But you also were someone who was manipulated too. Maybe it wasn't your fault you ended up that way. That is quite interesting to say, the least. You also had a grudge before your death. You were carrying that burden. You and your father, you were close, weren't you? But others split you up. Gula is the principal's daughter. What? It was a cozy life before his departure. My father. You had everything you wanted, then it all went away. All you had after he was sentenced to serve prison was your own room. Gula is the principal's daughter. I thought it was Everidia. Holy fuck. You like tinkering with machines, don't you? Yes, that's correct. It was one of my favorite pastimes. After you lost everything, you took comfort in it. You wanted to understand why people took him away from you. Humans are like machines, aren't they? That is possible, but it didn't help you, and instead, you sought revenge. And that is why you made bombs. Right, I made bombs. I constructed them. Oh, and she was probably Lycidia. It's becoming clear to me now. The school. I destroyed it. You wanted to get the real culprits. Your father did nothing wrong. He was not behind any crime, yet others found evidence of it. Why is that? I'm not certain. And I suppose I no longer care about it. Are you sure? I have answers if you have questions. That is tempting, to finally know the truth. To find closure from that hell. We don't have too much more time, so make up your mind. If that is the case, then perhaps it is better as a mystery. At least tell me, was I wrong? No, someone else definitely forged the evidence. Your father really was innocent. Someone else did the murder. I see. At least that allows me to rest. By the by, haven't thought about it, but what was my name? What do you believe it was? I have this little chime that says Marco.
It's not Marco.
But I am a girl, and that is impossible, isn't it? Your name isn't Marco, it's Lucille. Yep, it's Lucille. So she is the one who planted the bombs, we knew that. It's Lucille by something. It was Lucille Bois Jolie. So yeah, she is the one. Oh, interesting. Very well. Is it time for my departure? It is. Dust to dust, ashes to ashes. You've surrendered your right to live. I'll now carry your memory. Thank you. I have no idea who Marco is. Hopefully figure out who it is at some point. The room came back into view after that vision, which had taken only but a split moment to play out. Back to our senses now. Let's see the aftermath of the earlier altercation. Ancora, much like everyone else, stood silent as the dead body graced the room. It was perhaps 20 past the hour mark when Ancora could see it. Couldn't see it. The girl's sight was completely filled with nothing but the fuming remains of what was once Gula, the Caltheme girl, where her head had been and was instead a charred mark, showing the other a little further away, Ira's mark. Her head had already exploded by the time Ancora realized what happened. She so hated having deaths like these. But this one, it seems very possible it might have been the traitor. This time, the silence lasted longer. They were down to 5 people. Still far from enough meat cards to escape this place alive, and no traces of Invidia's body either. The group seemed to be at a loss by the way forward through the puzzle door was now open.
Or did we get the Mastermind? I know this is the question everyone asks themselves when this happens, right?
I don't know.
What I think is that we didn't. Lulu was manipulated into doing what she was doing. If the portraits were changed in the triangle as we suspected, which voting for Ava proved, but someone else changed 2 other portraits.
He grabbed Luxuria by the arm and pulled her against him.
What? I forgot he has the revolver in this one!
Next came to the click of the revolver adjusting itself against her temple. The small girl froze up. Ancora, Superbia, and Avaridia all stared slightly dumbfounded.
This is the Mastermind. The other portraits that were switched in the triangle were Ava's and Lux's.
No! It's not me! I'm not the Mastermind! I'm not Pandora! Listen, the others too! B and Cora's portraits were switched too!
That's also true.
No one dared move as Tristidia contemplated the issue under a new angle. Finally, he released the girl and threw her away, then put the gun back into his pocket. Hey Addie, how's it going? Welcome.
Fine then. It's not conclusive. But the moment I know who the Mastermind is,
he gave a tap of his hand against his pocket, making it clear the revolver wasn't just for show. Where did you get that anyway?
I found it in the room I explored last. It's staying with me. I can't trust anyone here, not entirely anyway. Alright, that reminds me of other things to share.
No one dared interrupt him now that he had the gun and made it known.
Something weird is going on here, specifically about me. Do you remember what she said after Ira died before we solved the puzzle?
And Cora thought about it, forcing herself to remember the final lines that she said to them back then. Please remember that once you enter a room, you also only have 39 minutes before you surrender your right to live. Time is of the essence, and I will stop taking it from you now. From now on, I will only appear to give you each room subject as you enter them. I wish all 7 of you good luck, and don't forget, I'll see you later. Wait, does that mean that Ira's still alive, or Vidi is still alive?
He said 7, even by all accounts we should have been 8.
Wait, what? That's true! She knows that this person's dead. Uh-oh. That's actually interesting.
Those messages aren't recorded, they're spoken in real time. I can only assume this means that the Mastermind among us is someone who's been proficient at retaining their speech without getting flustered.
So it was Zula.
No, it wasn't. She loses her speech as soon as she gets flustered or embarrassed. Therefore, the cow cannot be the culprit. I didn't hear any stuttering, so the lion is also out. So far, we got 2 innocents killed. Well, innocent of being Pandora, at least.
It's going crazy, because now they just revealed that we might not even be the Mastermind. Have we been just led along this entire time? Really smart. He's probably going to live to the end, but it's almost definitely someone I'd want to get rid of as soon as possible, as much as I can help it.
Which means Pandora's either Vidi, who left under the pretense of being dead since we didn't find any dead body, or they're still alive and among us. Whichever it is, there must be a good reason why the Mastermind thought it was more interesting to actually be in the group. I doubt they'd just up and leave if that's the case, so I'm willing to currently rule out VD. I'm not ruling out the possibility of them being in a room somewhere, though. For the purposes of this one, there are cameras in the crossroads, and they could have spied on us, maybe. Anyway, I have other questions, too. He walked forward, specifically stepping towards Ankara until the two of them were talking face to face, so to say. How did you know who changed the portraits? I have no idea. I just sort of knew. It's like the information reached from elsewhere. I don't know, and then in the next moment it came to me. So like an epiphany, then. Maybe. This is looking like a death sentence so far. Let's hope there's a way out. I think there are two ways that might explain why you know. The first one is that you can spy on people by using cameras. That would make you the mastermind. However, it doesn't make any sense because you tried to tell us about the change in portraits. You wouldn't give yourself away like that. I don't see the point in switching the victim of the vote unless it was you, and it didn't seem like it was going that way. Not to mention, to begin with, there are no cameras anywhere else as far as I can see except in the crossroads. The second way is that you're a psychic. Oh, what, me? Good stuff. A psychic, as if those exist. Entertaining his false ideas, probably for the best. A psychic. You get to know things we don't by using psychic abilities. There have been rumors of psychic usage before they explain things such as... He was looking for an example. Cindy pointed to Luxuria. Turn around. What? Why? Turn around or I shoot. Before he grabbed the revolver, the small girl did as she was told and turned around, exposing the back of her helmet. On it was a large S, as Nvidia pointed out much earlier. It was a cool S, a symbol which was also engraved on the Me cards. The symbol, for example, has been drawn all over the world in various places. It's impossible that each person who drew this was told how to do it by someone else. This predates the internet too. Very true. I remember drawing this S too. There's been a theory that the cool S was a mark of psychic abilities. That one day, someone somewhere used their psychic abilities without meaning to, and grabbed the knowledge on how to draw a cool S from someone else. Then they followed by drawing it everywhere they could. Someone else did the same, and again, all over the world. That is the explanation, albeit a little hard to imagine being real. That might also explain this epiphany. You know what an epiphany is. We spoke about it earlier. You mentioned something about talking to dead people, right? Yes. Yeah, I remember the epiphany. A moment of clear lucidity, or an idea that comes out of nowhere. For that, I do actually have no explanation whatsoever. Maybe he's right. No, it's still far too loopy to be considered true. Fudge nuggets! Why do I talk to dead people? Maybe in moments of extreme stress, you pull information from the world itself. I've played games that dealt with things like that, and the world is formed of what we know, isn't it? That's called Zero Escape and Danganronpa. It's possible what's happening here is the same that those games. That's gonna be a real tough sell for me, you morons. Superbia interjected in her usual fashion. What the fuck is wrong with you? Psychics don't exist. It's just a farce. Make believe. It's not real. We're wasting time. Need I remind you that we only got an hour and a half to go? You're right. We have to solve the puzzle. He stepped to the side, watching everyone. No one else seemed to want to walk away from the consoles. By then, everyone had forgotten Gula was dead not too far away. Well, take the lead. You've got the gun. That's exactly why I can't do it. You all go, and I'll follow. I'm not getting shot in the back. You can either go or I'll kill you right now. His tone was much less friendly. The horse was making it clear he was not joking around. Fine, fine. Jesus Christ on a pogo stick. Jesus Christ on a pogo stick? What? Oh my gosh. Superbia walked toward the hallway into Wing A, followed by Avridia and Ancora. Luxuria went after them, and finally, Tristidia walked to close the line. Something's not matching with the countdown either. There are 30 minutes left before the next vote is required, but with the time it'll take to solve the puzzle in the next rooms, it's not looking good. Once again, someone has to die or they need to start hurrying up. Arriving at the set of doors in the back of the larger area they hung around before, it was clear the panel was ready to receive their inputs in order to solve the puzzle. It took them only a minute to find it, next to the set of locked doors on the right. Let Ancora solve it. So far she's been the fastest to do this, and it's like Bia said, we don't have a lot of time. Approaching the panel, the girl readied herself to solve it as she'd done before. Alright, let's solve this puzzle. Oops, didn't mean to press that. This is getting, I'm so invested. Equalize. What? Equalize?
Fuck, I know what this is. Okay, hold on. Wait, it's greater than what? What does that have to be greater than? Could find me 6 times. Me. Wait, what? How the hell does that make sense? That's 7. Oh, 6, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's me. Oh. What is this? A is at the very beginning. I have no idea. How the fuck? How the fuck does this all work? T. O. Like something like this? Oh, I see. Okay, no, I got it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I figured that out. I was like looking at that like, what the fuck? Okay, that makes so much sense. The door's unlocked after the puzzle was dealt with.
Well, feel free to go ahead, everyone. I'm not going to let anyone get out from the side. From now on, we need a little organization if we want to survive past the time limit.
You mean your survivor get killed by you one by one?
Despite what it looks like, I do want to make it out alive. I also want as many of you to survive as possible, but I'm not against making sacrifices for it. Now go check what's further down this hallway before I lose patience.
Uh-oh. Superbia shrugged and walked off, figuring that this wasn't her problem. Avridia and Luxuria accompanied her too, but when Ancora began walking away, Tristadia grabbed her wrist.
Except you. I have other questions, or rather, I want to try something.
I wonder what that's all about. Doesn't sound too good.
To put it simply, I want you to think about Vidi. You're psychic, and I want you to try to communicate with him.
I think that's a little bit crazy. Okay, I'll do it. You have a gun. She agreed very quickly after he reached for the revolver again. There was no negotiating with him in the state. He tried. Thinking about Vidi, but there was no result. Sorry, I can't do it.
Maybe he's not dead then.
No, like, I don't know if I'm psychic, but every time I could hear about a dead person, they sort of spoke to me right after they died. This isn't a case where I can control it.
I have an idea then, but I can't do it just yet. Go explore with the others, I'll be right back.
The boy left her alone. The blonde girl was as dumbfounded as before. It wouldn't kill him to say what's on his mind before the grand events he's orchestrating. What is he planning? The girl progressed into the wing now that Tristadia no longer hounded her, stopping at his corner room. She unlocked it with the same key she used to open the other one before. After a brief curiosity check, gaining her me card when she poked it in one of her boots, Ancora was startled by Avridia suddenly slipping into the room behind her. What's this? It was locked before, wasn't it? I used this key to get in, like earlier. I thought maybe you guys couldn't unlock it. She showed the key to the teacher. We found keys like that too, but they didn't work in these locks. I guess only the A key works. That reminds me, haven't thanked you yet for saving me, have I? Ancora shook her head. It's okay, I don't want anyone to die, but I also don't want anyone to get tricked into dying. It's probably the worst. But still, thank you. It's very embarrassing to rely on you, because you're much younger than I am, but I think at this point I have no choice, do I? Why is Avridia also showing up a lot? Everyone looks to the teacher for support, but so very few understand that she's in the same boat than everyone else. It's easy for me to get things I want given my age. I'm older, more experienced, more knowledgeable. But here I'm stuck, vulnerable, fighting against impending doom. I'm the same as you all, so thanks for helping me, and if you need my help later, I'll definitely lend it. I don't know how genuine that is, but it seems genuine enough. I can't see her lying like that because, as she said it herself, her life was saved. Oh, thanks. The first thing I need is probably more me cards. Scouring the rooms next to this one, I found one. Maybe the other classrooms here will have some. Okay, I'll go check them too. Let's meet back at the doors. All right, everybody is on her side. Everybody is on her side. So her trust is probably up. Yeah, we got 66. Everyone else doesn't trust us, but she's pretty good. I like how all of our trust is on the right side. That doesn't bode well. Ancora agreed on the two parted ways. However, there was only one hallway leading inward. After Ancora left the corner room, she walked in the same direction as Avaridia, despite the two of them have given them farewells. This is terribly awkward. The two of them acted as if they didn't notice they were walking close to each other. Avaridia took the opportunity and slipped into the first nearby classroom, giving some respite to Ancora for having to sustain this awkwardness. For the fair-themed helmet wearer, the destination was simple: the other corner room. All the other corner rooms containing the me card, after all, and there was only one of them left to investigate. Who's that? Yamato? He's a green-haired guy. Looking into the nearby classrooms, Ancora noticed Superbia was searching in one, and another was being searched by Luxuria. Past them, she arrived at the corner and unlocked the door. Don't remember? I mean, we have this person we still don't know. Averity is the pig. She's the teacher girl. The cow we killed. Vidi's dead. Ira died. The rabbit we killed earlier in a different timeline. Snake's dead. The horse. So the only people left that have to die by vote. Oh yeah, thanks. Why is Jack's barking so long? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's go. I'll leave that later. But hold on. Thinking about it too, the horse, this person, and the pig have not died by vote. Interesting. Now inside, she looked around in much of the same general location than the other two, and Cora found a me card once again. That makes 3. With 5 people remaining, we're almost there. After leaving the corner, Ancora bumped back into the ones she had spoken with for a while now. Superbia and Luxury were both right outside. Did you find anything? We couldn't lock these doors, so how'd you manage it? I think that's the key. Look, the teeth look like a letter, like the other ones we found in the deduction rooms. Ancora still held the A key clutched in her hand. That's right, I found a me card inside. The other corner had one too. That's 2, and Ava found one earlier too. Huh, that means our total was 17 before the vote. And we found one more. That means we can almost do the next vote without even exploring any of the puzzle rooms yet. And we all agreed on who to vote for? A small silence settled amongst the group. It was clear who they were going to vote for next. Tristina was far too problematic to be left alive. A death's needed soon. It's around the 45-minute mark. The hour is coming. Right. We need to catch back up with the others so see what our haul is. There are some rooms left here too. I'll take care of them, whatever. You two run off with the others and consolidate the cards. What says you won't keep 1 or 2 for yourself? You crazy or what? We only need 5, we only have 4 right now. Not only that, but we're running out of time soon. Just go. I don't have the time or desire to conceal anything at this point. Since Superbia seemed like she wasn't messing around, Ancora and Luxuria agreed to leave. Now alone, they walked through the hallway. Hey, this looks familiar. Out of nowhere, Luxuria pulled Ancora over into a side room and closed the door. Well, what's this all about? I wanted to have a little talk. There's something I've been meaning to tell you and all. It's about before. I wanted to thank you for saving my life. Ula's manipulation could have gotten me killed too. Ancora shrugged as though she wasn't too concerned. Saving the nice little girl was just as much of a thing she was aiming to do than saving Arvodia too. It's all good, don't worry. Did you have something else on your mind? Luxuria hesitated. It's about Trist. He's clearly dangerous. What should we do? I don't think he'd go willingly into a vote like this. If the hour comes by, he'll probably shoot someone in the group. But I don't think we can feasibly take him down either, unless it's by surprise. Yeah, I'm super concerned. On one hand, Ancora wanted to get rid of him. On the other, he could be a great tool to figure out what Ancora wanted to figure out. If she'd only let him go onto that trail, he could do all the work for her. We don't have a choice then. We have to have him make a choice. What do you mean? Well, when the time flips to the next hour, we'll die. That means we'll look for the most promising and easiest target to kill. We could use that to our advantage. Ancora explained her plan to Luxuria. The gist of it was to have the guy make a choice between 2 targets. And while he's unsure, Ancora would jump him and take the revolver from him. If we slam him on the helmet, he'll completely lose balance and focus. He might even black out. In that moment, I need you, Ava, and Superbia to grab him and carry him over to the vote booth. Then we have to get him stuck there so we can vote. That might work. There was a slight reticence in Luxuria's words, and Cora reassured her, understanding what she was afraid of. So we're gonna have to knock out the big boy? Alright, that's weird. Don't worry, you won't be a target. I think Trist is very focused on the idea that Bia is still a danger, so I'll lure him over while Bia is still busy. Then he'll do something to look threatening. That's when he'll be confused. If I time it right when Superbia comes out, he won't know what to do. Then, when you come behind him and give him a good smack. You think I can do it? It also works if we get Ava to do it, I guess, but you have a good spot from here. Okay, I think it'll work. Yeah, I'm a lot more confident now. She looked like she was pumping herself up to pull it off, and Cora thought about it for a moment longer. You should stay in this classroom. Just peek out when we're going to pass by, and then you can get him at my signal. I'll make a V with my fingers, okay? Be sure to get him on the helmet. The resonance from it is insane and could easily knock someone out. Got it! Alright, we got a plan! We got a plan! And Cora sneaked back out of the classroom to go and meet up with Trist. And there was no time to waste while Superbia was still busy, or else she'd miss her window. And Cora came back with him after explaining the situation. She made up a lie about how Superbia was dangerous and she was growing increasingly erratic. I'll take care of her. Now that the boy had given himself a self-imposed peacemaking mission, it was easy to get him on the warpath. And Cora led him to the hallway Superbia was still searching, but she stopped near the entrance of a classroom. The entrance to that classroom specifically. Let's hope Luxuria is ready. Things happened very fast following that. First, Superbia came out of the classroom, which started Ancora. Even though the rabbit had been much further away before, Ancora failed to account for the fact that she might move classrooms. This made her jump back, causing her to step on Averidia's feet, who had just come out of the other classroom behind Ancora. Thankfully, the teacher didn't cause a ruckus, but she did grab the girl so she wouldn't fall. You okay, Cora? She knows Superbia was out. Oh, Bia's here. Calling out the rabbit's presence, the woman caused Tristidia to turn around with his gun taken out. The revolver was aimed right at Superbia. Uh-oh, this wasn't part of the plan. Now there's no one to talk out with Tristidia. Cora looked at the two of them. Superbia stared back at Tristidia, who was going to pull the trigger without any questions. It made sense, the timer was coming on the hour. They only had 1 more minute to get another death. What the fuck is happening? And Cora had only a split moment to act. She could let things take their course and leave Superbia to die, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing since she was the one weakest of the group. Or she could shove the girl out of the way of the bullet to protect her. And so, in Cora... shove Superbia out of the way. We're gonna die. And Cora had to act. This wasn't the real plan. The real plan was to get Tristidia, not Superbia. She moved forward all of a sudden, tackling the rabbit-themed girl out of the way of the gun. What? Hold on. Alright. Gosh. But the tackle Ancora successfully saved Superbia's life, and yet, the bullet Tristidia's shot lodged itself into Luxuria's helmet instead. Uh-oh, we killed Lux! Shit! Which caused her almost to immediately crumble down to the ground. The smaller girl had been standing behind the rabbit. Uh-oh. The explosion came from that body as the helmet disintegrated, taking with it the girl's head and knocking everyone back. It could only be described as morbid, the morbid result of Ancora's choice. Ah! Ancora and Superbia both didn't react to it, not understanding what had just happened. After a second, Ancora was shoved off Superbia. What the hell is happening? Tristidia couldn't understand. Taken aback by the strange development, this caused him to drop his guard for only a little bit too much. That's when Ancora leaped for Superbia right into his legs. Averidia had taken a step back, and she was now watching as the bear-themed girl knocked the male down to his back, causing his helmet to smack to the floor. It seemed that act knocked him out, and Ancora grabbed the revolver as planned. That could have been less messy. At least we've got a death now, but it's a pretty big loss, manner of speaking. While Ancora stood up, her gaze through the helmet's cameras was fixated upon the corpse of the small girl. The dead body would haunt her thoughts for the next hours, perhaps even days or weeks. It was a thing, no longer a person. Shit. She then looked at the group and shoved the gun into her right boot to use it as a holster. No pockets, huh? Picking that outfit might have been a mistake. The next moments were spent in silence as everyone calmed down from the altercation. By then it was already 5 past the hour. They only had 55 more minutes before the entire complex would explode. I wanted to avoid this. Ancora grimly made her regrets known. She came to sit down against the wall, closing her legs to her chest and holding them with her arms. But I guess no matter what I do, I always end up with a big mess, huh? Well, it's not really that bad, but now how is the split going to work with only 4 participants, one of which is unconscious? What a waste. At least this deals with one issue, namely the required amount of meat cards. She walked forward to pilfer with the one Luxuria had. In the same moment, she also took the strange ornate key the smaller one had also held. Isn't robbing the dead a little tasteless? I don't think she cares anymore, and besides, we don't have a choice, Mrs. Proper. If we don't get these things, we're done. And Cora didn't care. What now? Almost as if to answer that thought, a 5th figure made itself known. Hey, look, your boyfriend's back! What? Vidi? What? Vidi? It lied to us? It was NVIDIA. He arrived, pausing a moment as he noticed the unconscious Fastidia, then resumed his walk towards the group. It seemed as though he judged no matter what happened, there was no time to waste, and he was right. Yes, that's me. No questions, though. I don't have the time to answer anything. We don't have the time, that is. The clock is ticking, we've yet to finish these rooms. But where have you been? I said no questions, alright? Fine. I'll give a few pointers about what I've been up to. I have a me card still. I'm not dead. The room I was in was separated from the others. I usually escape this place, probably. No, it doesn't work yet. We need all those 9 strange keys. How many me cards do we have now? 21, is that correct? Counting this one I found in the strange room too, which is really oddity due to his circumstances of that room. And Gore nodded while he went on in his thoughtful spiel. On the side, Superbia was definitely holding back from hounding him. If we'd been back 5 hours ago, Superbia would have definitely flown into a fit of rage. Good for her that she can't hold back so easily now. So we really need to solve those rooms too. Something's wrong still. You mean about the count of me cards? Yes, you're correct. We're so far off the count of me cards that we have to collect. We only have this section and 1 hour left. No less than an hour. I hate to admit it, but VD's right. We have no time for this, and I don't want to panic and die. Correct to all of that. I think we should hurry and solve the next rooms as soon as possible. We're almost 10 past the hour. What are our teams looking like? With Tricidia still unconscious, they had to divide without his input. They no longer had the luxury of grouping with multiple people. Even if he was awake, they have to send someone alone. The real question was, who? I should go alone. Ava and Bia, you're fairly smart. Well, more for Ava than Bia. This cost him some points as Superbia was about to bitch up a storm again, yet he continued with a complete disregard for her. So you two should be grouped with someone who's more on level with the solving of these rooms. I'm confident I could take on one of these rooms alone. And Cora didn't feel like that was a good idea. If anything, she was the one who could do this, not him. It would be a lot easier if I could do it on my own. I already know the answers and all. I refuse. I'm going alone. Are you sure? Because if that's the case, then I'll go with Ava. Are you insane? This fucker wanted to kill me! She pushed the horse-themed boy's body with the tip of her foot. Going with him is like asking for a death sentence. No, he won't harm you. I'm pretty sure of that. He doesn't have the revolver he used to kill Lux anymore, right? Nvidia pointed at Ancora's boot, having noticed it. How do you know that? I heard the gunshot when I was coming over. You probably wouldn't have shot Lux, so it had to be him. And seeing how he's unconscious and how you have the revolver in your boot now, I guess it's not that hard to put together. Okay, fine. That makes sense. And as an added bonus with this setup, we also keep Cora alone. No offense, but I bet others really might feel uncomfortable if they were in a room with someone who had a revolver ready to fire at a moment's notice. Ah, I see. There's logic behind her going alone this time, then. There's no way Ancora would leave the revolver to anybody, so this was the simplest solution. In the end, it was agreed the teams would go the way Nvidia suggested. The timers finally reached the 10 minutes mark past the hour. 50 minutes remained. What about this guy? Am I supposed to pull the slardass over on my own? I'm not a lardass. The boy came awake, slowly pulling himself up. Immediately, everyone stood on their guards. No one made any movements to help him. Don't worry. I can see where I'm outmatched. I'm not going to mediate or piecing anymore. I understand you all been planning this against me for a while now. That's not... Shut it. Save it for later, Bia. I will trust you. Bia, I will trust you for this room, but after it, we'll need to have a long talk. Superbia looked a little annoyed, but upon closer inspection, she seemed more awkward than annoyed. It's like she didn't know what to say or do. At first for her, true. Let's go then, Trist. The two of them walked into the corner, then vanished to take the room furthest away. Avridi and Nvidia looked at each other, then at both rooms accessible close by. Which one do you want? It doesn't matter. Poor Vidi. Vidi's back with a lazy bum. Apparently it didn't matter. The two of them waved goodbye to Ancora and vanished inside of the one slightly further away, which left Ancora the closest one. After casting another glance inside the doorway where Luxurious body was visible, Ancora went towards the other room. Alone, for once. That's new. At least things will be infinitely simpler now. I won't need to hide. What the fuck? Ancora stepped into the room. She didn't wait for the talk with me, already looking around. The room was a little strange. It had a ceiling with a few spots of light, a little reminiscent of a square. For some reason, Ancora thought of stars too. Before she could explore much of anything, her vision shut down. The door locked at the same moment, trapping the girl, preventing her escape until she unlocked it again. Welcome to the stars. Let's drop all the pretenses, shall we? Ancora, since you're here alone, this is your penultimate test. Wait, this isn't what I recorded. In this room, you'll have to solve something that is very important to you. You don't know it yet, but it is of most vital importance. The question for you is, what are the keys? You can think of the answer by mulling it over, or you can solve the room. Well, the answer should be simple if you think about it. Solving this room will safeguard the future itself. I don't need to tell you what happens if you break the time limit, but I will anyway.
You'll die, much like the rest of them. There will be no surrendering of rights. You will merely, cleanly, completely, inexorably die.
If all goes well, then this is the last time I'll be contacting you like this. Everything has been built to lead to this moment. Don't disappoint me. We have now reached a 50% chance of success. I'll see you later.
So is Ancora no longer... I think Ancora is no longer the winner. This isn't what was prepared. Someone tampered with the setting, and there's no doubt about it now. If there even was any left, there's an usurper somewhere. Is it the traitor or someone else? And that was really strange, but I guess I have no choice. What are the keys? Looking at the long room containing a strange table, Ancora mulled it over. After only a minute, he decided to investigate the room. There's no helping it. This time, I'll need to investigate myself much more. Someone's usurped me, and I don't like that, not one bit. Well, it's time for another escape room. Sorry, this chimichanga is good. Do we do this now? Because we're actually out of time. This might be the true ending. I don't think it's a true ending. We'd have to unlock everything else for the true ending. Oh, it's unlocked way more. Way more has been unlocked. Uh-oh. I fell for it again. I fell for it again. I fell for it again. Fuck, I fell for it again. For those who don't know, I've fallen for this trick every time in 999, VLR, and Zero Time Dilemma, where they add more afterwards. I fell for it again. Shit. Alright, well. I think that's where we're gonna end it. We're gonna do this deduction room next time. And then we're gonna keep going from there. We have more paths. We can't really access anything else. There's more stuff to do too. But we're 4 out of 4. This game is fucking insane. This game is so good, but it's insane. Oh, so VD's alive! VD's alive in the top timeline. Let's go, team! Gosh. All right. That's gonna be where we end it. We'll do the deduction room next time. We still got one more stream tonight. For those who are curious, we still got one more stream tonight. However, I'm gonna get prepared for movie night. We got movie night here in the Discord. So if you guys are not part of the Discord, do exclamation mark Discord. But about 30 minutes, I'm gonna get wrapped up. I'm gonna get set up to do the movie. It'll last about an hour and a half, and then we'll see what we'll do for the last stream for tonight. We'll also be playing this again tomorrow. So if you guys want to see more of this, we're gonna do this tomorrow. All right. And I think we're not anywhere near the ending of this game. But I want to get this game done. Not because, like, you know, I don't like it or anything. I love this game. Miracle Moon, once again, fantastic game. Fantastic game. And once again, shout out to Miracle Moon and SHSL Blaze for getting me a code to this game. But I also want to get this done pretty quickly because there's also stuff we have to get to. But this has been a great game, and I want to keep playing more. I want to see what happens. There's so much more to uncover, and I think we can figure this out. So with that being said, first off, shout out to our members. Thanks for supporting the channel. We got our Super Sheeples, Yoshi Melon, Travis, and Word. We got our VIP, Supernova, and we got our members, Squidman, James Clark, Hunkrat, Final Plays, Adorable, and Sylvian Vlogger. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. By the way, that means, I didn't allude to it last time, but that means we have 10 members. That's fucking insane, guys. You have 10 members who are supporting the channel, which is crazy. I'm going to try to get some more emotes soon for them. Once again, if you guys want to be a member of the channel, links down there. You can hit that join button. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, night, or evening. My name's Katafi, and I'll see you guys next time for more Brighty Gaming. See you guys later. Peace. Bye, everyone.